This is a 3-part online series. You don't have to attend all 3. You can come to one or the same one multiple times. We had basics and benefits last week. Today, we're really going to be focusing on tuning into the body. And next week, we'll be talking about integration and emotional regulation. Ken, while we have you on here, do you feel comfortable talking a little bit about Heal the Planet?
Sure, I'd love to. Well, first of all, I want to, KP, I apologize for saying he last week. When I know you're a she, I apologize. And thank you for giving me a quick minute. So Heal the Planet, as Morgan shared, is a nonprofit, and we focus on educational programs to bring about a more conscious and loving, sustainable planet. We have all different kinds of programs and resources. So hopefully you'll take a few minutes to go to our website and see all the various things we offer, whether you live locally here in South Florida or anywhere on the planet. So we have resources like 100 Ways to Heal the Planet. Our Young Planet Leader contest showcases young planet leaders starting at 8 years old from all around the world. So anyway, lots of other things that we're doing as well. So please join us, play a part, whatever you do something. You know, I always tell people we can complain or we can be part of the solution and take action. So lots of love to everybody. I'm looking forward to this workshop.
Thank you. I think a big part of healing the planet is being conscious and aware of all of our choices. That small act, huge impact. The smallest things we're doing or unaware of that we're doing really do have a big impact. So we can tie in our mindfulness practice.
Yeah, and I can add, like, all healing starts within each one of us, right? Because if we're not seeing our own loving essence and at peace with ourselves, then we're going to have that experience when we're showing up on the planet.
Yeah. And in tuning into the body, thank you, Ken. Tuning into the body, we are going to bring awareness to our body and breath. So really our experience of self and in that moment. Today, we did some introductions. We're going to do a brief recap on last week's series, Breath and Basics, some benefits, more so when we're using body mindfulness exercises. A few exercises during this, I'll always give you a heads up, like how long we'll be doing it for, so you can get nice and comfortable. And then some things to practice on your own outside of here. So mindfulness and breath, these are like our key building blocks. Mindfulness is a gentle awareness or intentional focus. It's not about stopping a thought or controlling a thought, but more bringing awareness to what's going on. Ideally, you could practice 15 minutes a day. Most of the research supports that just 15 minutes of practicing these skills have a lot of benefits. And you always have your breath to come back to. So at any time you're feeling rushed or unsure, or your thoughts are kind of sneaking in, you can come back to your breath. Don't rush the process. It takes time returning to yourself. This is a quote that just really spoke to me. I don't even know where I read it, but I repeat that to myself when I'm feeling like I'm not where I need to be, or I haven't practiced something enough. And in mindfulness, it's about being in that moment and showing up, trying, doing the best that you can. So last week we had talked about picking something in your daily routine and doing it mindfully. I would love to hear if anyone was able to try that and what your experience was like.
I actually did it when I was having breakfast, and it was a toast with vegan butter. And I usually am rushing to eat it, and this time I was like, okay, slow down, taste every piece of it. So it was nice.
Good, thank you.
I
Ken,
did the
body wash.
mindful, yeah, I did the mindful eating a bunch of times this week. It was awesome. Like just smelling the food, saying a little gratitude prayer before I started eating, and then trying to chew a little slower because I tend to eat very fast and quick and typically rushed. So slowing it down and kind of savoring the flavor of the food was awesome.
Hi, Elizabeth.
I actually did it with a friend. Can you see me? I don't.
Yes.
Okay, because I don't know how to see that on my screen, but I actually did it with a friend when we went out to lunch because she is spiritual, and we did it actually at lunch while we're having lunch out, and we kind of talked about it and everything.
Oh, was it an enjoyable experience?
Oh yeah, I mean, we talked about it, and then we took the minute out, to investigate it and do it, and and practice it so we could do it later on. But I pretty much like now mindfully eat. I slow down my eat a lot now, so more conscious of it.
Actually, just before we got onto this Zoom call, I use a refillable soap container because, I don't want plastic. And there was a little bit left, so I went to pour more in, and I'm like, wait, is this the right scent? So I smelt both of them, and it was such a potent smell. I'm like, how often do I smell my soap when I wash my hands? I picked this out and still I didn't do it. So I took that moment to refocus and be mindful.
Excellent.
Thank you for those of you who tried. And even if you don't feel comfortable sharing today, you still have the opportunity to try. It doesn't have to be eating. It can be 1 minute or a 10-minute activity. Ooh, that's nice and big, isn't it? So some of the benefits of mindfulness, there are physical benefits, alleviating physical ailments, IBS, GI issues, headache, hormonal imbalances, your menstrual cycle being off balance, increased immunity, mindfulness and awareness to body is used to treat heart disease, lower blood pressure, reduce chronic pain, improve sleep, regulate cycles, and really calm down our nervous system. Emotionally as well, we're able to reduce those negative emotions, increase our mood, the positive emotions that we're feeling, self-awareness, motivation, and communication is a big one. Okay, we're back to normal size now. So what is body awareness? It is a constant state of awareness of body sensations, breath, and the coming or going of feelings or specific movement. Like I know when I sit and I'm talking, I swivel a bit. I'm aware of it. I know where my foot's pressed to give me the swivel. Increase awareness through mindfulness helps us to regulate our responses to people, places, things, or certain situations. And the more we do this, the more we're able to kind of foresee certain circumstances, maybe during finals week or a time of the month that is more stressful. If we're aware that our body responds in this way, we can better prepare. So some mindful body practices, taking inventory, right? That simply means seeing what's going on all in your body. How are you feeling? What's going on around you? Self-checks. I recommend doing this all of the time. Create a routine or switch it up. Guard your attention using the 5 senses exercise that we practiced last week. Resetting or taking a pause, breath work, sound anchor, and body scan. We're going to be doing those last 2 or talking about them today. When it comes to mindful body practices, there is no right or wrong way to practice mindfulness. You get to decide what works best for you. And just like any skill or sport, the more you do it, the better you'll become at tuning in. So I would love to start us out with a short 5-minute exercise on focusing on the heart. Although we're going to be focusing on our attention in the center of our chest, it's really a symbolic mindfulness practice. You can utilize this anywhere, anytime. While you're waiting in line, when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed, you can really mold these mindfulness practices and make them your own. I did put while riding in a car, not while driving, because you want to be mindful of that. So if everyone could just find a comfortable seated position, sitting upright. Our upright posture really helps us to strengthen our awareness, but we don't want to be rigid. So relaxed and comfortable. This practice will take about 5 minutes. It helps you become completely absorbed in your heart. When you're absorbed in the heart, you are complete in lasting peace and contentment. You can close your eyes or softly gaze at nothing in particular. Allow your body to become relaxed. Take a moment to settle your mind and body. Bring your attention to the space in the middle of your chest. It can be helpful to place a hand over your heart or notice how your breath runs over this area with each inhale and exhale. Thoughts, sensations, and tricks of the mind will come up to distract you. Stay attentive to the sacred space in the middle of your chest. Slowly, a natural state of withdrawal of the senses will come over your being. Allow your awareness to withdraw from external distractions and become wholly absorbed into this space. Notice if absolute awareness begins to come to the forefront of your attention. Stay here in this space for just a few minutes. If you find yourself getting distracted, focus back on your heart center. You can even push your hand into the center of the chest and feel the beat. Take a moment to feel a sense of gratitude in the presence of being. Slowly bring awareness back to this moment. Gently opening your eyes. I see some people rubbing theirs trying to stay awake. So this was just a short practice focusing on a tool we already have, something that's already in our bodies and beating. As you become more aware of and in tune with your vibration, your life begins to harmonize. It's not a superpower that only some people are born with. We all have the power within us. The simple act of awareness really allows us to respond rather than react, to get our needs met, and to listen or adjust. Everyone feeling a little bit calmer? Still awake, hopefully. So, busybody versus balance. Anyone in this group ever pour coffee into their cereal, or maybe go to put some spice and the lid was already off and now you have a dish full of pepper, or dipped your paintbrush in your drink? Anyone do that? I know one time I put a muscle relaxer on my face as a moisturizer because it seemed like a similar bottle. So when we do these things, we're being one of those busybodies. We are doing a million things at once and not really focused on that moment. If I was truly focused, I would have smelt it before I rubbed it into my face. Or you would have felt the weight of the coffee or creamer as you poured it into your cereal. So that busy body, or we have to keep going, getting everything done, it really blocks us from having a connection and communication with our body. When we are rushed, we're out of balance, maybe exhausted. It can disrupt our cycles, have that snowball effect, right? It keeps rolling down the hill. And as the snowball rolls, it's picking up more and more speed, more and more snow. By the time it gets to the bottom, it is huge. So if we do the check-ins with our body throughout the day, or even each hour, we can recognize it before it's this giant snowball or, muscle relaxer on your face. Physically or emotionally drained, illness and physical ailments, this is all in that busybody section. When we talk about balance, there's a quote that was shared with me. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Pouring coffee into your cereal. I feel like a lot of people have done that. Is anyone out there? Okay. So now I don't get my cereal faster, or my whatever it is I'm eating. I have to clean an extra bowl. I've now wasted time and I have to redo the whole process. I'm not getting anything done at a quicker pace. I'm actually slowing myself down and not enjoying the moment. Our bodies are magnificent things. We always teach children, if something's hot, don't touch it, right? Watch out for the flame, and our bodies respond or react and pull away. But we don't teach ourselves about recognizing our own emotions in our body, or physical ailments, even exhaustion, right? You notice when you're falling asleep or nodding out, not when it's starting to creep up on you. So when we are balanced, we're increasing the recognition to physical or emotional pain, recognizing those warning signs, increased awareness of our cycle, and we're really able to monitor or readjust, just like I did there. Our body and mind really do work together. They're constantly communicating with one another. We can increase our awareness by just taking the time to practice mindfulness. When you get onto an airplane and they tell you, put the oxygen mask on first, same thing here. You cannot help anybody else if you can't breathe. So returning to your breath, taking time, creating that routine, setting aside a few minutes, setting reminders or consistency really helps. Some people don't like consistency. They get bored in it and they lose motivation. So like we were talking about before, choose what works for you. When you do practice, be present and compassionate. It's okay to get distracted when you're trying to take a pause. Appreciate how far you've come, and this time is for you. Making self-care a priority. I know as a therapist, as a human, I'm always preaching self-care. And a lot of people ask me, what is self-care? It looks different for everyone. I enjoy cleaning. Not a lot of people do. I don't think that's on anyone else's self-care checklist. Or getting your nails painted. That's something I'm not a fan of, but I know so many people that love it. So how you know if it's self-care for you is simply checking in with yourself. How do you feel before it? And how do you feel after? If after you feel better or more relaxed, that is self-care. Has anyone ever participated in a body scan before? Right, I see a couple heads, some hands up. When you practice a body scan, you can make this your own. Sometimes I like to do top down. Depends on where I'm feeling the tension or what's going on. If I'm having a hard time sleeping, that helps. You can do feet up or one side up the body and down the next. Picture one of those like scanners. Now I'm thinking airport that they do, the little metal detectors. And that is literally what we're going to be doing with our awareness and our attention. This helps to calm your nervous system, and over time, your body will see those increased benefits. You are worthy, and I want everyone to give themselves permission to fully participate in this process. I remember when I was first learning certain practices, it's hard to get into your body and out of your head, right? We wonder if other people are getting the same experience out of it, or if we're doing it right, or if our eyes are twitching when they're closed, and that's not really being fully present. So as I guide you through this, I will tell you, I promise I'll tell you when we're coming back to awareness. And I want you to give yourself permission to fully relax. You can do this lying down or seated with your feet planted on the ground. So take a moment and find a comfortable position. I would say this practice will take about 10 minutes. Remember, we're seated. If we're seated, gently, not rigid. Close your eyes or softly gaze. Palms facing up. If you're lying down, let your feet fall slightly to the sides. If you're seated, allow yourself to get comfortable with your feet resting on the floor. For this exercise, we will try to remain still. Take a moment now and move slowly with awareness to adjust if needed. We will begin by bringing our awareness to our breath. Noticing the rhythm, the experience of breathing in and out. Bringing gentle awareness to your breath. There is no need to change it. Begin to bring awareness to the body, how it feels, the texture of clothing on your skin, the contours of the surface on which your body is resting, the temperature of the body and the environment. As we scan the body, bring awareness to the parts that are tingly, sore, or particularly heavy or light. Take time in those spaces to send your breath and relax. We'll start at our toes. Tightening them or grounding them into the ground. Feeling your big toe and those that surround it. Push down and then relax. Let the awareness slowly move to the top of your feet. Bring your awareness to the bottom of your feet. Your ankle. As we move through the body, you should feel it relax more and the sensation. Bring your awareness from your ankle to your lower legs, your calves, your shins, up to your knees. Focusing on the tops of your thighs, and with each breath, relaxing a little bit more into the ground. The backs of your legs, allow yourself to be present and sink heavier into the moment. Feel your butt sink in, whether you're seated or laying down. Your tailbone. Around to your hips. your abdomen, noticing the rise and fall. Up your spine to your ribs. Your chest. Feel the back of your shoulders. Your upper back. Bringing awareness to your hands, your fingers, palms, the backs of your hands, and to your wrists. Up your arms, lower, elbows, upper, all the way to your shoulders and your neck, letting them fall further away from each other. Your jaw, maybe give it a little rock or shake. Mouth, nose, cheeks, ears, eyes, forehead, scalp, and back to the top of your head. When you feel ready to come back to the room, slowly bring awareness back into your body. Allowing your eyes to open and naturally come to a comfortable seated position. So that was just 10 minutes of our time. How is everyone feeling? Anyone sleeping on me? That would be amazing. I know for myself, even practicing this as often, I tried to do it often, I felt different sensations on the tops of my feet as I was scanning up. And I realized today I wasn't as tense in certain places that I normally am. I see a few hand raises. Whoever would like to share, just unmute yourself and jump in.
That was amazing. I actually had, I don't know if you even know, but I had double hernia surgery a few days ago. And so there's been, anyway, during this 10 minutes, it totally disappeared.
That is
Yeah, like there's a constant pressure in my belly and abdomen, and it's just actually like I'm not even feeling it now anymore. So, but I didn't think about it at all. It was really, I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. I'm glad you got that time of alleviation, and hopefully it stays with you as you heal. Elizabeth, I know you were stretching your arm after. Did you feel the tension? Oh, you're on mute.
I sprang, like kind of pulled my bicep muscle about 3 weeks ago. So it's getting better. But when I did the body scan, it kind of like, brought it more attention. So I'm not kind of stretching it out. So.
Sometimes that does happen, bringing it more attention. And when that does happen, I would try it again for yourself and spend more time there, breathing and allowing yourself to fully relax, and seeing if that helps to alleviate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. So there's physical tension, pain, hunger, fullness, all of these cues that our physical self is giving us, and we're not always tuned in. No two bodies are alike, and just like the experiences that were shared, one felt relief from the pain, and Elizabeth drew more attention to it. Well, for a man and a woman, it kind of makes sense because we have different body or pain receptors. And Elizabeth likely has been tuning out some of that tension, but bringing awareness will hopefully allow her to release it or heal. Our body functions as a whole, not just the physical, but the emotional is tied in. And when we experience different emotions, just like our bodies, everyone experiences those emotions differently. Some people may feel a knot in their throat or an upset stomach. Maybe they feel fire or heat within for certain emotions. So increased awareness allows us to heal, to recognize when we're feeling a certain emotion and where in our body we are feeling that. I know we're getting close on the time, so I'll try and be mindful of it. A great exercise outside of this practice or the series is anchoring to sound. You can practice this 1 minute a day, and being aware of your body posture, still, seated, and comfortable. Challenge yourself to tune into one sound at a time. So allowing the sound to be your anchor, really taking all of your awareness to that sound. whether it's a sound you create, music maybe, or something outside, a humming. Hopefully not a sound that upsets you, like a phone ringing. We're going to do a soothing sound. I would love to hear from you what you would like to see more of, if anything in particular stood out. We would love to see you at the next part next Thursday, the 28th at 6 Eastern Standard. So share with your friends if you enjoyed this, and we'll be talking about integration and emotional regulation. They don't have to have attended any of the prior to come to next one. I put everyone to sleep, huh? Some ways to stay in touch. We have our events at healtheplanet.com. The calendar is there. You can see everything that's coming up. Like we have a beach cleanup this Saturday, always something to participate in. If you don't feel comfortable sharing in this forum, you can reach out to programs at healtheplanet.com. And there is this QR code. Get all fancy and scan it if you'd like to participate in volunteer opportunities.
Thank you, Morgan. I just put on the chat the calendar of events for those that are in Florida and wants to join us.
Perfect. And I see some people in the chat relaxed. Thank you. I'm glad. I really appreciate everyone for showing up today for yourselves and fully engaging in it. If there's any questions you have or something you want to see more of, feel free to reach out. Looking forward to next week as well.
Thank you, Morgan. You have a good night.
You.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Thank you, Morgan.
Good night.
Thank you.
Leave the QR code as the last page in case someone wants to scan the volunteer opportunities. There you go. Thank you.